everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that's totally changed the game for AI and how it understands language. We're talking about the Word2Vec skipgram model. Let's dive right in.
Okay, so, I totally get databases. It's all about rows, columns, primary keys. Everything fits neatly in a box. But then you look at human language and, wow, it's just messy, right? So how on earth does a computer even start to figure out what a word actually means?
And that really is the heart of the challenge. Databases are built on structured data. It's predictable. It's organized. You know exactly where to find everything. But language, that's unstructured data. It's ambiguous. The meaning changes with context. It's just not designed for neat little tables. So how do we possibly bridge that gap? Well, the answer is a brilliant idea called word embedding. The whole goal here is to take those messy, complicated words and turn them into something a computer absolutely loves: numbers. We represent every single word as a list of numbers, a vector, which basically gives it a set of coordinates in a massive, multidimensional space. And here's where it all clicks, especially if you come from that database world. Once you have these coordinates for every word, you can store them in what is, for all intents and purposes, a giant lookup table. It's just like looking up a primary key to get a row of data. The model can look up a word, say king, and instantly get its unique vector. Building this table, that's our entire mission. All right, a lookup table. I get that. That makes total sense as the end goal. But how do we even build that thing? How does the model figure out the perfect coordinates for, tens of thousands of different words? Where do those numbers come from? It all comes down to a surprisingly simple but incredibly powerful idea. You shall know a word by the company it keeps. Seriously, that's it. The model learns a word's meaning, its coordinates, just by looking at the words that usually show up next to it. So here's how it works in practice. The skipgram model just churns through massive amounts of text, like the entire internet. And as it goes, it looks at a sentence and picks one word to focus on. We'll call this the center word. In this example, its attention is locked on the word objects. Now, once it has that center word, its main job is to play a guessing game. Given only the word objects, it tries to predict the words that are nearby in the sentence, its neighbors. So it's going to try to guess recognize and translate and speech. And it does this over and over and over again for millions and millions of words. Okay, I'm following. The basic idea is you give it one word and it tries to predict its neighbors. But what's the actual, machinery? What does the thing that's doing all this predicting actually look like under the hood? You might be expecting some crazy, super deep, complicated neural network, but what's so cool about this is its simplicity. It's just 3 layers: an input layer, one single hidden layer, and an output layer. That's it. This simplicity is actually a huge part of what makes it so powerful and efficient. So let's start at the beginning, the input layer. We take our word, objects, and we have to turn it into numbers. We do this with something called a one-hot vector. Just imagine a huge list with a slot for every single word in the English language. That list is going to be all zeros, except for one single one that's flipped on in the exact spot that represents the word objects. And now, for the big reveal. The second layer, the hidden layer, is just a big grid of numbers, a weight matrix. But here's the secret. This matrix is our word vector lookup table. We found it. Each row in this matrix is the set of coordinates, the word vector, for one of the words in our vocabulary. This is where all the learning happens. So how does it learn? Well, every time the model guesses the neighbors and gets it a bit wrong, it goes back and tweaks the numbers in that hidden layer matrix, just a little. And the key thing is, words that mean similar things, like king and queen, tend to show up in really similar contexts, so the model ends up tweaking their vectors in almost the exact same way, pushing them closer and closer together in that big, multidimensional space. So, at the end of the day, what have we really done here? We've turned messy words into clean math. We've figured out how to capture meaning and context as just distance. Words that are used in similar ways are physically close to each other. This is so powerful, you can actually do math with words. For example, the vector for king minus the vector for man plus woman gets you a vector that's incredibly close to queen. This simple idea was the foundation for pretty much all of modern NLP. And that just leaves us with this one final kind of mind-blowing thought. If we can turn words into points in space, what else can we do that with? Entire sentences? Pictures? What about songs or even customer shopping habits? The possibilities are just absolutely endless. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, share it, and subscribe for more explainers like this. Thanks for watching.